All right, so for today, I this is a problem that I kind of ran into is we had recently moved, and one of the cool features about the house that we're in right now is that it has a swimming pool. Um, so one thing you got to kind of do with the swimming pool is you have to take care of it. You've got to end up making sure, as you can see, my kids like to watch Mario on TV here, as that's kind of popped up here. Anyway, so yeah, we have to take care of the pool, which means taking care of the chemicals and making sure it's safe, and so my kids don't get sick in the pool and all that kind of stuff. So, I went to to a pool place there, and the first question they had for me is I was trying to figure out what I needed. They're like, well, how big is it? And I'm like, I don't know. So I had to go back and figure out how many gallons it was. So I needed an estimate. They were very clear. You don't need the exact amount. But the overall shape, if you kind of look at it, there, it's kind of an oval. All right. So what I figured is okay, we just need an estimate. We need to know whether it's a 10,000 gallon, 20,000, maybe 30, maybe 25,000, something around there, just a general idea. So I figured, okay, it's an estimate. So forget the idea of this particular shape because we don't have a formula regarding an oval. I'd have to chop it up and move it around. So what I'm going to end up doing here is simply ending up making it into a rectangle that I'm looking at here. All right. So I'm just going to work with that stance from it. Again, it's an estimate. I want to make my life a little bit easier as I work through it. So I do know that the is 18 feet. All right, from there to there. And I do know that it is 35 feet going from the left to the right. So I need volume, and volume is how many cubes will fit inside a particular shape. What makes this a little bit more interesting is the fact that there is a shallow end and there is a deep end. So if I kind of think about picture wise of what I'm looking at, um, when we deal with it. So let's get the water there. There's the water. All right. There's the deep end. And then, so this is where we can kind of dive in here. And then it kind of goes up. All right. And then we have this shallow end that we're working with here. So I'm kind of looking at it from a side view as if you were kind of underground. So what I ended up realizing here is that, oh, let's make it three dimensional. Here we go. Oh, there we are. There we are. All that. Let's see. We'll go like dotted lines here to kind of give it that look. All right. And then let's see what else here to make it that three-dimensional. There we go. There we go. Something like that. Okay. And also I'm going to go because what I ended up doing here is breaking it up into two particular shapes to find the volume of it. The one part I'm dealing with here is this particular rectangular prism that's here. All right. And then down below, what I am looking at is it's actually a trapezoidal prism. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's a trapezoid here. So we're going to kind of show you this trapezoid that we're dealing with. Let's put blue here. All right. There, and then it's here, and then it's here, and then it's here. So it's a trapezoid because it only has one set of parallel sides. So what I realized I needed to do is to take the volume of the rectangular prism, add it on to the volume of the trapezoidal prism, and then I'll have the volume of the entire pool. So I needed some measurements. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and start kind of labeling some stuff in. We did talk that this was 18 feet. All right. We did talk that this was 35 feet. What we're looking at here is the shallow end. All right. So from here to there, that was 15 feet. The height of the entire depth of the pool is 8 feet, and in the shallow end it is 3 feet. So if I just start with my rectangular prism here, I can see that it's 3 tall. All right, it's 35 all the way across. All right, and it's going 18 back. So I'm going to do the area of the base and multiply it times the height, because that's my volume of a rectangular prism. So area of the base here, so there's my 18, there's my 35, that'll get the area of the base, and then I can multiply it times the height. So it's going to be 18 times 35 times the 3 that we're looking at. Now remember, this is all in feet. I'm going to eventually need to get this into gallons, so another conversion that we'll be looking at here. Let's do that multiplication first. 18 times 35 times 3. All right, gives me 1,890. So it's approximately, all right, 1,890 feet cubed. Remember, estimate here. It's an estimate. Okay, so the next thing I've got is my trapezoid that I'm looking at. So again, the volume is the area of the base times the height. Now, here's the thing about it. The height of the prism is actually not the up and down. It's actually this portion that's going back, because they're a prism. So if you remember what a prism that's here, it has the same shape on the top and the bottom. And because this is a trapezoidal prism, all right, it has the same trapezoid here as it does on the other side that we're looking at. So because of that, all right, because it's on the same as the opposite side, that's why it's the trapezoidal. It's not rectangular because the rectangle up here is actually bigger than the rectangular one that would be down here as we're looking at it. All right, I know there's a lot going on with that picture right now. So again, area of the base times the height. So to find the area of a trapezoid, it's 1/2 times the height, and then the bases get added together. And then this is the height of the prism. And so the height actually connects the parallel sides. So the height is actually this particular number that's there, and that was our 15 feet. Now, in this portion, this is just for the trapezoid. So I'm just working with that trapezoid here. So if the entire height is 8, as I can see, it's 3 from there to there. That means the missing length is, yeah, that's 5. All right. So what else do I need here? All right, well, that's the height that's there, because again, it's just the trapezoid. The bases, that's the parallel sides. So it's this line and it's this line. So I need this one, and I need this one. All right, well, if we kind of go back up here and look at our measurements, it's 35 all the way across, but we've used up 15 so far, which means that one number is a 20 that we're looking at here. All right. For the next part, I need that guy. So I need the distance from here all the way over to here. So what I was able to do is simply walk up to the edge of the pool, kind of count it out, and get an idea. Because again, all I'm looking for here is an estimate that I'm looking at. So that ended up becoming to be right around 15 feet for down there. So from here to here was our 15 that we're looking at. All right, so what that allows me to do now is to plug in the information. All right, oops, there's my 20, there's plus my 15. All right, the height there, I gotta go back and change that. Remember, the height is what connects the parallel sides. So in this particular case, it's that 5 that we were looking at. Sorry, I lost my screen, that's there. All right, so we'll go back and we'll put my 5 in here. All right, so 1/2 times 5 times 35. All right, and then I got to multiply it times the 15. So again, reach for my calculator. All right, well, 1/2 of 5 is 2.5. or 2.5. So I'll just type that in. Multiply times my 35, and then multiply times my 15. So that gives me 1,312 and 5/10. So I can add it together with my 1,890. I'll add that in. All right, and that gives me 3,202. Oops. And 5/10. Now that's feet cubed. This is why units of measurement is important, because I have to know what I'm looking for. When I went to the pool place, they didn't ask me how many cubic feet was the pool. They asked how many gallons does that pool hold. So what I had ended up doing was looking up my conversion here, and I want to know, not fluid ounces to gallons, all right? We want to know, all right, how many gallons, all right, in a cubic foot. There it is, cubic foot right there. And it's telling me, all right, no, I don't want to do shopping. My goodness. Here we go, 7.4. So in 1 cubic foot, it's 7.4. So again, here's where my ratios come into play. Because it's 1 cubic foot, and we'll round here, we'll say 7.5. All right. So 1 to 7.5. All right. But I've got cubic feet, and I've got 3,202.5 cubic feet. Now, the reason why I knew that went first is because when I went back over, I can see here the cubic feet was the 1, cubic foot was the 1, and the gallons was the 7.5. So because the cubic feet came first, I had to write my cubic feet down first. And all we're doing here is, to get over there, is we're multiplying by 7.5. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to multiply it by 7.5. So if I, again, reach for my calculator, all right, multiply that times 7.5, I get 24,000. All right, 24,018. So, yeah, I was looking at that. So, yeah, I knew to tell him I have about a 25,000 gallon pool in order to make my conversions. Now, I think if I go back here, we could just kind of change this, right? Couldn't we just end up, looking at that and typing in our number? Yeah, we could have. I think we could have, right? Let's go back to it there. 3202.5, all right. 3202.5, and there you go, approximately 20. Remember, it's going to be a little bit because they're not using the 7.5 like I was. All right. And then, so yeah, there's my estimate that's there. So I could kind of go back to what we had here. How many gallons in my pool? All right. And so what I'll actually end up doing here is I can find backyardcitypools.com, all right, a pool water volume calculator that's there. And so, yeah, it says works with square, rectangular, Grecian Roman, I don't know what that is there. And it's a good approximation for ovals and freeform pools. Okay, so let's see what happens here. Length in feet. We said that was 35. Width, we said was 18. In the depth in the deep end, we said was 8 feet. Depth in the shallow end, we said was 3 feet. Let's see what they say here. Look at that. Look at that. Approximately 26,000. So again, 25,000 is kind of what we are looking at here. So yeah, all right. Good little estimate that's here to give you an idea, because again, we're talking about close, we're talking about an approximation that we're dealing with. Because in my picture, I was oval and I made it into a rectangular prism. My actual number should be a little bit smaller than that because the rectangular prism makes it bigger. The other thing is, man, you know what? I think it's actually 9 feet deep. All right, let's see what that does right there. You can see now it takes it up to 28,000. So again, if I'm using an approximation of 25,000, it's good enough. It's close enough. It's that idea needs to be right around there. I know what I'm dealing with. So yeah, there you go.